Dragon, or is it just me?
Uh,
Cosmic.
Cosmic. Okay, one sec. Yeah, there you go. Is you good, bro? Let me take him back in real quick. One sec. Make sure everything good. Yo, Cortland, you good, bro? Yeah, he might have to take. He might have to turn off his camera. He come back in. It's all good. But we here. We live. So that is what it is. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Divine Masculine Podcast. All right. So joining me, we have Dream and Cortland, who's gonna be coming in soon. Gonna be coming in real quick. We're gonna wait a little bit for him. One second. Make sure you good, bro. Yeah, he was kind of lag. He was low key kind of lag though. I think it's just because of the. I think it's just because he turned on his camera. Like he was good before that. There you go. Boom. Yo, you good?
Should be good. Like,
Okay, we in here, man. We in here, man. All
yes,
right, y'all.
twice.
Welcome to Divine Masculine Podcast. We got Cosmic Cortland in the building. You know what I'm saying? We here. We here. We got Dream. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
today we have a few topics we're gonna talk about, and the first thing is growing up, right? Life experiences, feelings, and that's what we're gonna go off that. So y'all can start off whenever, like on the free reign. Let y'all speak first. Yeah.
You said it first. You said it first, bro.
Okay. Hey. But yeah, so basically, the first thing is just like growing up, like your life experiences, like what you feel like was different as a guy growing up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, uh, just how your surroundings, your family, just how you grew up and stuff like that. I guess I'll start it off first. With my experiences, I feel like, I feel like it was pretty cool. Like everybody family a little, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got things in their family and stuff like that. Like but my family I feel like specifically was just like they love you, but at the same time it's like I was saying this earlier in the video. It's like you can't really constrict. Oh, he just fell out. You can't really constrict uh kids growing up, and I feel like I pretty much had a little bit of free reign when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? It was just wild because I feel like the only thing that was kind of like big for me when it came to is the guys how people seeing you, right? They always seeing guys, oh, you have to be this way, you have to be a certain way to towards certain people, or you have to act like this towards the divine feminines, and like what I'm saying, like so-called game, like you have this type of game, you have to have this, you gotta be like this, you have to have swag, stuff like that. Like like don't get me wrong, obviously you're supposed to look good and like what I'm saying, like portray yourself good and just have that, but you have to do that for you, right? You have to do that for you. You can't do that for like somebody else. Like
Mhm.
you do that for you, that's gonna attract whatever you want, right? It's when you literally are a magnet, so it's like you attract exactly what you want. So I feel like the society growing up makes you feel like because you're a guy. They go Cortland again. I see him. Add him in there.
I switched on my phone.
You good? Oh, okay. You good? You good? You good? But yeah, bro. Yeah. I feel like my growing up experience. I feel like my parents didn't really constrict me a lot. Like growing up with a stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he really was. He really is my dad. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was a different feel, especially like when I first communicated with my dad for the first time as a kid. Like I feel like all guys, all growing up need that figure. Whether it's your grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's just that male figure in your life is really huge for a masculine, for a guy growing up in society, especially. and the times we're living in nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I had my granddad there. I had my dad. My stepdad. He was the one that introduced me to like games. PlayStation, and that was like the big thing for me. Where I had that person that, bro, like you had all this knowledge, and he was teaching me stuff, like put me up on game on stuff. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we can do this, do that, right? But it was just like I feel like they really categorize you as guys have to be like this, girls have to be like this, right? So let's say you know what I'm saying, especially in school, like they be like, oh bro, you a guy, you can't be listening to all these female songs, Sierra, Cassie, like you know what I'm saying, like kind of try to categorize you and like, oh, you can't wear these type of clothes, you can't listen to this type of music, you can't be like this, like trying to categorize you in one spot. And I feel like they definitely did that. And people, especially in school, try to make fun of you because of what I'm saying, what you like and stuff like that. I feel like it was just big. Like, but what you think, Cortland? Though I feel like from your perspective. Oh, he muted. What he muted?
Yeah, okay, I'm good now.
All right.
So I definitely like would have to like agree with that for sure because growing up, it's like they try to put you in this box, and with me, it's like I came up like in a like under my mom and my stepdad, and like my stepdad like was pretty much like the my primary like father figure like throughout my life. Like my dad was definitely like still in my life, but like my stepdad like never like left type things. And I also feel like too like that parental relationship too like is heavy, like it's heavy, you
Yep.
know. And with that like because it affects like the heart and then it also affects like the solar plexus. And I feel like with me it I was able to like I feel like I learned like what it was to be like the a man like in society's eyes, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I still feel like since my foundation was like cracked in the way because like my dad was in and out, like
Yeah.
I had to learn like how to deal with that like as an adult, and that also like kind of hinders like men like as well, especially like women too, and
Yep.
it affects how you love and all of that. So and then it's like whenever you're forced to be in like the box that society like puts you in, it's kind of like who am I really, because I haven't had like the person I wanted to show me like who I'm like, supposed to be or lead me to who I'm supposed to be, and now society's telling me this, like what like what's going on here,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
it's chaotic, you know and like that's what something that I was like experiencing like so crazy, and it's kind of like it caused me to like rebel in a way, and I was just like, you know what, like I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna do that, and then it's like you get in trouble doing this and that, and
Yeah.
then next minute you know, like mom puts the hammer down, like you're not going
Yeah.
outside at all, like
Right. Right.
yeah, and it's just like yeah, I feel like growing up definitely has like a big impact on that, and it's just especially like in this Western world, like
Yeah.
especially in
Especially.
you know, and then even just how like with how right like just even how like we see how men are supposed like well not supposed to be are like pictured as today, right? Like these celebrities and stuff like that, and like how they dress and stuff, and then we can look at like let's say 2005, right? And how like let's say celebrities like rappers and stuff was dressed, and then you can see like there's nothing wrong with like wearing what you want to wear. There's nothing wrong with like expressing yourself in any form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like you owe that to yourself. And anyone tries to take that away from you, like stand on that. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm all for that. But it's like they try to push this certain thing where it's like, nah, like this is the cool way to look. You know what I'm saying? This is the cool
Yeah.
way to act. You know what I mean? You got rappers wearing dresses on stage and stuff like that. You
Right.
know, and then
Yikes.
you know and it's like and they try to push that and they push that and they push that, but then it's like also like with the goddesses, right? We also see like then women becoming like a lot more like tough and like what's up, like what's
Yeah,
popping, you know?
that's fact.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like you have the right to be whoever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to feel what you want to feel. Like the issue is whenever you're trying to force it on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And yeah, like I don't like that.
that's fact. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like I feel like it's true because it kind of constricts you of expressing who you are. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you want to express yourself, especially as a kid. I feel um like you're free. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that constriction so much. Like when you're growing up, you have to deal with the world. You have to deal with this. But I feel like a lot of people in the world feel like they're being constricted on how to express yourself, or if I express myself in this way, people are going to think I'm weird, or you know, if I express myself in this way, they're going to think I'm this or that, and I feel like that's just no, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you just express yourself the way you are and like feel comfortable within that, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, like it was times where you know I didn't express certain things in my life, you know what I'm saying, and it was just big because I felt like people around me was just like, "Oh yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that." You growing up saying you can't do that, you can't do that, right? So it's like that just putting limits on your mind and be like, okay, if I can't do this, I can't express my passion for this, or I can, you know what I'm saying? I can't. Oh, do I love this type of music, or I'm into this type of, you know, wearing these type of clothes, or being in this type of society. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just it's like traps within traps, right? You got the matrix, you know what I'm saying, which we're already in. We already got to deal with every day. You know what I'm saying? But you got already, you know what I'm saying? Prisons within prisons. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's crazy.
popping.
I, what's your experience on Dream? You got anything to add?
So so pretty much I had to learn how to be my own parent growing up because I had two fathers. You know, one was pretty distant. The other one was, you know, with my little brother as his the one that raised him. So pretty much my mother was the divine masculine in my growing up life. So
Yeah.
for me, there's a whole lot of expectations as to who I'm supposed to be or the standard that I was set from birth.
Mm,
And me being like the prize child born during sun hour, and then me being born in Mars day. So pretty much I had to be in my solar plexus at all times. And then if I were to not fulfill those solar plexus type of traits, then of course, you know, it's hard for me to like, you know, express myself. And well, so this might shock this might be very shocking, but I also had trouble, you know, getting with getting social in the social crowd.
yep.
So it was, yeah. So pretty much without that divine masculine influence in my life, aka that father in my life that I felt that I needed, it just felt like I wanted to be that overachiever.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was more of something that I wanted to do for other people's approval, especially when you play sports. And it's
Yeah.
like and it's like it just lacks, so where it lacks divine femininity is where I'm just going straight to, let's say, to play basketball, but it could get mixed. It can be a thin line between love and lust
Yeah.
with why we love what we do and why we, you know, how do I explain? Because the root of usually why we want to play sports or why we want to chase after a passion is usually not necessarily always through because of something that has stuck with us, but more so because of what we've been exposed to as children. So when we're children, so pretty much the first, let's say, 2 years, I was pretty much born in the Philippines, you know, pretty much born into a very nice and like polite family. But
Mm,
then moving to the hood, like at 3.5 years old, where I was pretty much living in a neighborhood that's like a army senior citizen type of homes that people would live at, later to grow into like a second Chicago. is like is like that basketball, football, everything like that was pretty much the standard set for how people can make it, how people can be seen as someone that people can look up to. And then what else? So pretty much that was like the divine masculine. That was pretty much wounded growing up. And since this is a divine masculine podcast, yeah, it was both masculine and feminine as to what was wounded for me. But the masculine part without the father in my life was pretty much like me speaking right now. Like it's not easy for me to really stand up for myself. So yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty much that's my experience with my life growing up. So pretty much the things that I learn now, these are the things that I should have learned as a child. But then we have to take something like accountability, and then also taking calculated risk, even if it may not be as practical as we would like for it to be. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's wild, bro. Appreciate you for sharing. I feel like,
Powerful boy. I'm
yeah,
there like,
yeah. I was like, I was into like, okay, like I just appreciate like y'all sharing because like everybody got different perspectives on like growing up and what we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grew up in different situations. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Telegram, Ascension, and the Cosmic Workshop. I feel like all these places is like safe places for everybody to be free to express yourself. Like you know what I'm saying, and not feel like, oh, let me not do that or let me hold back on that. I feel like we should have more safe places where everybody can be themselves and not feel like they're being judged. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's amazing. That's great. But yeah, moving on, adult life, okay, adult life, dating, expectations, and life path, okay. Ah, all right, y'all. I already know this should be heavy, okay. I'm like, yeah. So speak for me. I'll speak since I already let y'all speak. I'll start off. So adult life, right? So dating, don't even get me started with a dating game nowadays. It's just like no, you know what I'm saying? Like they got all these rumbles, Bumble, freaking all these different apps, right? Who is on these apps? Nobody. Like you know what I'm saying? So like it's just like, and this it's fine because it's some situations where you can actually meet someone, you know what I'm saying, that you connect to. That's fine, but I feel like now in society they just like, oh yeah, hook up with this person and they're free and they live in your area. You know, like
yeah,
it's just like, bro, like, and you're searching. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are searching for love outside of themselves. Like the post that you spoke today, that you posted, I was talking about today. I was just like, bro, like a lot of people look for love in dating outside of themselves. Not saying obviously we all want to have that love. You know what I'm saying? Like we all want to have that. Some people want to have kids. We got things we want for our future. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like just you have to find that love within yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to find that energy, that energy of love. What is love to you? What is love? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean for you? How does that feel for you? And pretty much all of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for me, like after school, like after I graduated from school back in 2015 from high school, like it was at the point because during that time I was in my lower self. You know what I'm saying? So it was like insecurities, didn't really know how to express myself that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through it tough when it came to the dating. I was just like, you know what, forget dating, and I started focusing on me, and I just been focusing on me forever. Like I've had people that come, friends, you know what I'm saying, or divine feminines that come and I connect to, and we have chats and all that. But it's like, I'm open to it, but at the same time, it's like I feel like spirit has put me alone. You know what I'm saying, like for forever now, right? Even though I've been manifesting, okay, boom, this is what I want eventually in the future. You know what I'm saying, family stuff like that, and I feel like I just feel like it's crazy because spirit specifically put me in put me in this space alone to focus on my own elevation, to focus on my own transformation, and to really see what I want, right? You know what I'm saying? As you going over here, you know what I'm saying, and being out and dating all these girls, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Is this really what you want to manifest for your life? No, it's not, right? But that's the thing. It's like when you growing up, you're around the guys. You're like, all right, man, we outside, we hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up, like doing things, especially old me, smoking, doing this, meeting girls. Like that's just, but it just wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just following the trends. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what a guy's supposed to be doing. What 17, 18? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're supposed to be doing. Out, hanging out with your friends, cousins, connecting, doing stuff. It's just like it wasn't me. And the biggest generational curse in my family is addiction. And I spoke about this on a video that should be coming out soon. Um, but I was just like, bro, like that's the biggest thing for me. I had to deal with since graduating. It was being in that state of doing this, smoking, doing that, right, and staying in that energy of this is what I'm doing, and it just kept me low, right? It just kept me like stuck in that self and not really doing something. Like I said, it's like we always say, dude, before we really awaken, like it's like life is living us and we're on autopilot, right? Survival mode, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I felt like that's how I was. I felt like I was just on autopilot, even though like certain spurts where I was aware, like, oh, they, you know what I'm saying, Illuminati, and you was always conspiracy theorists throughout your life. You know what I'm saying? That led up to, oh, that's why I was getting these. That's why I was like tied to this, or that's why I was like tuning into this, or I was aware of that at that moment. But it's just like it's crazy because I feel like nowadays everyone is focused on their own elevation, but it's like everybody got their own lives, everybody got kids and stuff like that. And I always say, like, you on this awakening, you on this journey, you know what I'm saying? Like you should take time for you. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you have kids, take time for you. You know what I'm saying? Like because during my journey, during the beginnings of my journey, yo, like I was tough, like down, depressed, heavily insecure about myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have no love for myself at all. Shit, I didn't forgive myself. I put myself down. Like, it was just the worst. During in that adult life, in that beginning stages of that life after graduating, right? I chose not to go to college. I didn't even choose not to go to college. I just did it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, we just gonna do this and do that. In 2016, I had started this. No, I started this channel in 2014 and I was doing gaming. I was doing gaming for years. I did gaming for like 4 or 5 years on here, y'all. And y'all can scroll back in this videos of gaming. I have like hundreds of videos of gaming, but I started my gaming channel, and I really feel like if I didn't have this channel, this gaming channel, me uploading, me connecting with other people, I don't know where I would be because it was holding me together. It was like the glue. That was the only thing I was really passionate about in my life. You know what I'm saying? And man, it held me together. It held me together because if I ain't had this, I don't know where I would be. Especially in the beginning stages of my awakening. I was having like thoughts. I ain't gonna say what it is because YouTube was trying to shut the video down, but y'all don't trying to sing thoughts of me being off this plane. You know what I'm saying? And oh my gosh, bro, like it was just a lot in 2019 when you go through the dark night of the soul and you really feel that energy like it was like pretty much a huge fork in the road for my life. You want to keep doing the same shit you've been doing, or do you want to actually change and push your life somewhere where not only you'll be happy, but your ancestors be happy and your descendants will be happy. The people that you leave into this world, like what you leave after this world. Do you want to leave this where you're already at? I mean, this is nothing that's going to help your children and your children's children. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not nothing that's going to help boost your generations after you leave this plane, after you transcend this plane. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I chose, I really chose, but Spirit really was like, nah, I mean, you getting up today, like I don't care, dude. May 2020, bro. Shout out to Dream because Dream, I'm telling you, bro, if I ain't have his music, dude, oh my gosh, his music had me through some tough times, man. Big fact.
On everything.
Ride wave sometimes.
But bro, like May 2020, like I started my awakening, and it was like my higher self came through. It's like, nigga, you was getting up today, be vegetarian, vegan, yoga, you walking outside around the clock. I'm just like, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's what I'm doing. But it was just like a time where it was just time for me to change because it just wasn't going in the direction where it needed to go. It was just time to shift that paradigm, close that old timeline that was not serving. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much my experience. You can go, Cortland. What you have for your experience?
Oh, right, man. Like there was so much of that that I resonated with. Like and it's just like a testimony, like, yo, like we are truly like reflections of ourselves. Like it's just like of each other. Like, whoa. Um, but like so like with dating for me, right? Like I was always shy like growing up. You know what I mean? Like I was always shy when it came to like I was never shy when it came to talking to girls or anything. Like, but I was always shy when it came to like talking to them like on like that way, like flirting and stuff like that. Like I was like people used to call me a flirt, but I didn't think I was flirt. Like I was always nervous. Like
Same,
you know
same.
what I'm saying? So if anything, I was like a nervous flirt. You know what I'm saying? And but also too, it's like I didn't like my stepdad and my dad like they didn't really like teach me that until like I got older. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this is how you treat a woman. Like I
Yeah,
always knew like the basics, like, you know, okay, like abuse, like no, there's no, you're not doing that. Like
yeah.
no, not
Fact.
tolerated whatsoever. Like I always known that. And like even just the women in my life, like my mom and my grandma, like and my sisters, like they mean the world to me. So it's like just from them, it's like that's really how like I learned like about women in general and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Know? And but I didn't really start dating until like having like little like I guess I would say like petty relationships, like those like okay like the typical you break up and make up, you break up and
yeah,
make up, like that chaotic stuff. Like goes on Facebook, post something crazy about you. Now
yeah.
you're viral in school. Like nothing worse than going high school viral. Like like your world's about to like what? You know. But like and then going through that experience because that happened to me when I was like 14 years old. Like it was like me and this girl dated for I think about 2 months, and then she would just always cuss me out and stuff. Like, and I didn't like that because I felt like I already gotta get cussed out by my sisters and my mom all the time. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
get cussed
fact.
out by you two all day, you know. So I was like, it's just not working. So I like, you know, broke it off, and then she just start like just going crazy on Facebook, like and then yeah, it was just says the most disrespectful things. That just scarred me. So I was like, nah, I'm pretty chill off date, you know. And then once when I got like older, like say like my senior year of high school, like because there was like obviously girls like I found attractive and stuff like that, but I didn't have the confidence to go up like and talk to them still.
Facts.
Know what I mean? And I was like, but nah, what about is she like go crazy on Facebook or Instagram now?
Yeah,
Like or Twitter? Like
bro,
you know, social media is the world in high school.
bro. I'm telling you.
I was like, no, so I was chilling, you know. Like I didn't go to like those like homecoming and semi and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like only thing I really went to was like the JROTC like mill ball. Like
yeah,
I would do that. And then I would also like I went to my senior prom. Like and that was
yeah,
because like my mom forced me to go. Like because I wasn't gonna go. I was like, but
yeah,
why? Like it's really just a dance.
yeah.
And I was
Like,
like, I could dance anywhere. Like I'm dancing right now. Like
hey, I'm trying to tell you, we can do way grown stuff now. We grown. We
right.
can make parties on our own. Shoot.
And then so that was like around the time like about to go into the military too. And I was dating this one goddess and like she literally like ended up breaking my heart like week 3 of basic training. Like
Dang.
because like I just never got a letter back. Like, you know, and the drill sergeants just love to mess with you too. So it's like they'll be like, "Oh no, Jody got your woman. Jody took your girl. Like if you came here with a girlfriend or a wife, like, nah, she's gone by the night." It's like stuff like that. And it'd
Dang.
be like, "Yo, like, nah, you're lying. You're lying. It's not going to happen." And then it's like I really experienced something like that, and then it's like, and then I started to see it happen to like other like soldiers too, but then also I seen it happen to like other like women soldiers as well. So then I'm like, yo, so like, yo, like, why even being in a relationship? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, why even be in a relationship? And then like, I had 4 relationships, and like, it wasn't until like the fourth one to where I could like started to accept love, like from the goddess, because it's like also too, it's like, and I was going to get into this later a little more. Was like the heart chakra. It's
Yeah.
like the heart chakra is big, and it's like whenever a man felt like he couldn't get the nurturing love from his mother, right? That affects him in like a huge way to where it's like it could hinder him from getting that love, like or like receiving it, because she could be like trying to express it all the way. But if he's not opening up to receive it, you know what I mean? He doesn't even, he's not even aware of it, you know, and it might even like trigger like anxiety, like what do I do, to the point to where it scares him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
with me and like my goddess now is like, at first like it's still like it scares me, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, but it shouldn't, because it's like, yo, like I'm a Cancer, like sun and moon dude. Like I love hard, bro. Like
Same. Yep.
like hard. Like, and like my Venus in Leo. So it's like, so it's like it's rough over here, you know? So I was like, when it comes to that, like when I get like heartbroken or like little anxiety and stuff like that, I want to shut down, you know? But it's like I had to heal that source to like where it was coming from. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like for me, it was like it wasn't that my mom wasn't like nurturing like enough. It was like I had to realize that like nah, like as I got older, my mom got older. She started to go through more health issues. She couldn't do the same things that she did whenever I was a kid,
Yeah.
you know? And I couldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still like, nah, like my mom, she just didn't love me, bro. Like, even though like I do feel like certain siblings was way more spoiled, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, but still, that still don't negate the fact that like she wasn't a nurturing mother. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I had to like accept that. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever I have kids in like I don't know 200 years, I'll just see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like dating definitely is like for me it was like a whole learning curve. A whole learning curve, you know? And like but I noticed like once when I started to like work on like my heart, you know, and then my action, like my confidence, like boom. And like I can't lie, like me and my God is now like we met on Tinder, you know, like that was
There
like,
you go. I just said sometimes y'all meet
you
on
know what I
who
mean?
knows.
And like,
Yo.
and it wasn't like we just like instantly messaged each other and like started hanging out or anything. Like
Yeah.
no, because she was still not talking to me. Like no, like boom, like had me add her on social media. Ended up like I got her number by playing 8 ball with her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Dang.
you know, like what? Like she wasn't like she was in her mode. Like she wasn't talking to no dudes, nothing at all. You know, because like she's been emotionally scarred by like toxic men. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I kind of weaseled my way in there through 8 ball, and then now look at us. So yeah. Like Tinder
Hey,
works like 1% of the time. But like it's
yeah.
a good 1%.
Hey, if it works, it works. If it works, it works.
Right. Like, so like different expectations I would say. Like when it comes to dating too, it's like we had to I think when it comes to like our confidence, like that dictates our expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then also it's like if you're like selfish or not, like as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like you got some people who are just like they're just me. You know what I'm saying? When it's supposed to be we. Like and like so yeah, that was like just the last thing I wanted to say about that.
Mm.
Dream, you got anything to add to that?
So I haven't anything about high school or middle school. It wasn't anything dating ish. The reason why I say ish is because the first kiss that I had was not really a kiss, but it was like a cheek kiss or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was my only experience with dating and stuff in terms of middle school and high school. But my dating life, or yeah, quote unquote dating life, came through when I had my awakening. So pretty much the intention of how I was able to receive that date was through giving. So pretty much how a attraction to, let's say, attracting a soulmate could happen has a lot to do with what you're able to receive by what you give. So pretty much my idea was, if I have a spiritual awakening from, let's say, music, then let me do something of what has inspired me to of hold on. Let me rephrase that. If something musical inspires me, why not create through music?
Yeah.
So I figured to myself, I'm like, can I be a rapper? Could I do music if I don't have the equipment? So then I thought, let me do some frequencies. Let me convert these songs.
Mm.
So pretty much the inspiration of creating a YouTube channel with that music, and this revolves back to the dating, was so I could, how do I explain it? So that I could connect, pretty much. So pretty much each genre of music that you see is pretty much how it could like bring some type of resonance in like very peculiar ways. So all right, fast forward. So once my YouTube channel got all popular and stuff, that's where I started to attract like tarot card readers. Then I started attracting like some spiritualists, some decent clout type of like YouTube channels that
Yeah.
that recognize my work. So then I look at it. So then I just get drawn. I get drawn into like, wow, she does tarot cards. It's because that's been what I've been drawn to growing up before my awakening, something like that, right? So then, so then all of a sudden, pretty much how the dating experience happened for me was I was attracting it in some way. I guess fate. I guess I don't know, but to put that into words, it was basically it was basically hmm, it was basically what I had. So so for me growing up, it was all about what I needed to have in order
Mm.
for me to receive.
Yeah.
So when how do I explain this? Um, so this all started through an email, and we was emailing back and forth, and then she sparked some type of interest to where we can work together. So growing up, I grew with parents that, or with a mother who's very business oriented, or very like Capricorn esque. So in my dating experience, it was more business. It was more getting to collab, getting to work with one another. So when we realized that we both seen eye to eye on these types of activities, then we were able to go and take it to the Instagram where we start talking. So
Mm.
then we started talking, and she's got a good number on me. Like, she's got a good number on me. So with the age. So like we started talking on the Instagram DM, like literally on FaceTime. And the conversation was very awkward at first. But then but then pretty much my dating experience is, oh, we met in the past life. We met in the past life. And then I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's wild.
Because it's like because I wasn't thinking like that way. It was just I just got started. Like she was talking about, I've been on my path for like 10 years. Shit, I've been on my shit for not even 9 months. And then that's how my dating life started, when she was talking about some Mercury retrograde. Fucking some Mercury retrograde. So yeah. So
Yeah.
what?
What? Mercury retrograde. Mercury.
So yeah, so like, but it was very interesting because of how beautiful she was on the outside, and then because of the connection that we have, and then instantly when we started to talk, instantly all of a sudden she was able to tell me that she was able to see my ancestors, which is what made it even more interesting when I told her about my awakening through a music artist. And then she was saying that she was seeing my Asian ancestors. So that's what really propelled that connection to actually have some type of like longevity. So
Yeah.
pretty much, so pretty much, so pretty much what it has to do with um my experiences or the Divine Masculine podcast, it pretty much has something to do with just focusing on you basically. It's like it's so easy when it's that way.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of women can have like these pretty faces or what they say on YouTube and stuff, but there's always that baddie. That's even better than Rihanna.
Fact.
There's always that baddie, and it's like it's just another face, except what is the soul looking like? Or what's that energy looking like type of thing. What does it feel like? Or what can you possibly do for me instead of what I have to offer to you, or what my numbers look like
Yeah.
and stuff. But with her, it was just instantaneous. There was a connection. So pretty much it can come from, let's say, a karmic. It can be it doesn't matter if it's a karmic bond. It doesn't matter if it's a bond that lasts a lifetime. It doesn't matter if it's meant to last another lifetime after this one at a higher density.
Yeah.
The fact that you was able to attract that connection is like you're setting yourself in the right direction towards what you're meant to do. So it's like a starting process. So for people that are watching or listening, so pretty much the advice that I would give is don't expect it to be all like for your first steps on your spiritual journey. When you first meet people, don't expect it to always be like a fairy tale ending, because most likely 9 times out of 10 you just got on a journey 8 months, for me for
Fact.
example, and then you meet someone that's been on this for like damn near 10 years, 11 years, and then they might have different priorities, as to they might have different life experience. Like for her, she's in Miami already doing photography, and she was already in the, let's say, music industry. And then for me, I was just in the crib chilling with a computer, just posting. So when those types of realities don't work together, to where you might feel this tension, or this feeling like you need to be codependent, that's where you would know. That's like, for me, that I would know to myself, this might be something that I have to work on
Yeah.
for the next connection that I would build with somebody else at a higher level. So pretty much to save everybody from like that 10-year, let's say, because for most people, whether we believe it or not, for most people, we've been stuck with these connections for every lifetime, or almost every lifetime. And now we have that opportunity now to actually let that go, because we in a new time now, age of Aquarius. Information spreads faster than a touch of a.
Yep.
So
That,
like,
that's facts.
mhm. So yeah, my dating experiences has been, it's been, it's like how did I do that? It's like it wasn't like that in high school, but it was just simply because of taking care of yourself, pretty much. It's simple of what you hear, but not everyone actually takes the time to do it. So it's like an everyday thing where you have to exercise that every day, if not at least every week, at least.
Yep.
Or you just gotta, it's either you got it or you don't. it's either it's either you chose this life to say that this is what you're gonna do to, go to this direction, help the collective consciousness. It's either you got that or you don't. And all three of us here, we got it.
Yeah.
However, don't underestimate the low vibrational experiences that we're living, and then just let that, I'm talking to myself too.
Yeah.
Nah,
because
spit
of
some bars.
the ascension symptoms. Me, I've been indulging in like chocolate, you know, chocolate pieces of, truffles. Oh
Don't
yeah,
get me.
that shit's smacking. Yep.
Don't get me started, bro. Like I had to stop because I overindulge. So I gotta stop. And be like, all right now, you
Yeah.
know. And even when like I had stopped like watching TV that much, like I had stopped anyway. Like I don't really even watch TV that much anymore. Like in the back, I have like lo-fi in the back, so I'm like, okay, this one playing today. But even now, it's like, bro, like I used to do okay, just 3 hours, 6 to 9, and I go to sleep, right? 6 to 9, I go to sleep. So they're like, nah, fam, cut that TV off, take a break. So I was just like, all right, I guess this is what we doing today. But yeah, Cortland, you had a topic. We're gonna go to y'all topics now, Cortland, and then Dream, and then we can move on to the last two that we have here.
All right, bet.
Okay. So my topic was which I'm like definitely like the cat was out the bag when the podcast started. So it's about the heart chakra and like the masculine, right? And it's just something that like affects everybody differently, right? But it has like the same impact, and like I don't want that to go over people's heads. So of course I'm gonna break that down, right?
Yeah,
Like, and I'm going to use like myself like as an example, and it's actually dope that like it came right after the dating topic because like that affects that area as well, and it's not like it's like it comes down to like also like what relationship you have like with your mother, right? And then also like how do you look at goddesses like in general, you know what I'm saying? And it's like because with the heart chakra it's like to give love, right, you have to like receive love, right? And to receive love you have to give love, right? Like it's not one without the other. It's like it's always a fluid motion. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But the hindrances from like your parental relationship can like mess up that flow. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like you want to like you close that off. Like I remember like I used to just have a wall up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it wasn't the fact that like I didn't think that like my mom loved me. I knew my mom loved me, but
yeah,
it was like my mom came off to me as like really selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because there was certain times to where it was like that was just shown, like to where it's okay. Like my mom loved like HSN and like QVC and stuff like that, like all that television shopping stuff. And we would literally have multiple packages of that stuff every single day at the house, every single day. You know what I mean? And then go ask mom for some. She's like, "Oh no, you don't need that. No, you don't need that." And they'd be like, "Well, look at you. You don't need that." Like,
yeah,
So that like, and then so then it was like once in a while, like okay, I could see myself getting annoyed by it sometimes, but like every day, I think that's what like really like feel like that frustration. You know what I'm saying? Then when it came to like my younger sibling, it's like she gets everything in the world,
yeah,
you know, and it's like yo. So then I was like that I looked at it like, wait, hold on, like why are you doing more for her than you have for me? It's like, do you love me? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like we moved to a different area to where it's like it's more like interracial, I guess.
yeah,
Like it wasn't like this. It wasn't the hood. It wasn't the suburbs. It was like right in the middle, right? And boom, so you got like the best and the worst from both worlds, like just boom, like in this melting pot, right? Like in this melting pot and like that like literally kind of just like you see like how these different kids who are like more like privileged, like you would think more privileged than you, right? And
Yeah.
how they're getting spoiled with different things, and how their parents, they're not telling them no, they're not. You know what I'm saying? They can eat what they want. They can eat McDonald's every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Mom, we got some McDonald's. Well, we got McDonald's at home. What?
Man,
I was like, what? Do you got McDonald's money? Like,
just about to say that.
you know, like, and then like it's like little stuff like that, like it bothers you, especially when you're a
Yeah,
teenager. Anything bothers you when you're a teenager,
definitely.
right? Like it'll take nothing to set it off between you and your parents, like as a teen, you know. And but that like affected like my heart chakra with me and my mom, because it's like I felt like certain times too, it's like I couldn't talk to her, I couldn't open up to her. There were different times like she would like say like no talk, and then I would say something and she'd get mad. The next minute, you know, like now like she's snapping, and I'm like, wow, like I can't come to my mom. Like, how can I go to any goddess to talk? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would get into relationships, but I would still have a wall up. So I wasn't properly giving love to like these other goddesses, and it's like they 1000% didn't deserve that. You know what I mean? But it was like until I identified that into like myself, I wasn't able to do that. And it was like, so that's when it's like when you said like you kind of took a break from dating, like resonated with that so heavy, because I literally was on like just 4 years of just being single, and like, but I wasn't like doing other things with women. Like I was literally just to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, may I talk to somebody like here and there, but for the most part, like it was literally like 4 years of like dark night of the soul. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like my hair was all crazy. Like, you know, like I was like couch surfing, like not really couch surfing, but like kicked out my mom's, ended up having to like sleep on my friend's couch for a while, ended up moving back
Yeah,
in with my mom. Now like stay with my father, you know, and like boom. So it was just like all the crazy journeys and stuff like that. But what it forced me to do was sit there, and like that's why I posted the message about like dwelling and like reflecting on the channel, because it was like for a while, like the first 2 years of the 4 years, I was dwelling on things in the past because I
yeah,
was looking at my relationships like while I was in the military, like with like this one particular goddess, and it was like I 1000% like messed that up. You know what I mean? Like I was like I wasn't cosmic core, I was toxic core. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, and it wasn't like I was cheating or anything, like, but pretty freaking close. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, I'm like, do I really want to be that? Do I really want to be that individual? And it's like, nah, like that's when that's just like spirit literally just like sat me down, and I had to just sit there and like reflect. And then there was just like I had to go back and like heal all of those past like relationships. You know what I'm saying? And like within myself, but then also apologize to these past goddesses for like my actions, you know. Not
yeah,
to say that like they didn't do anything as well, you know what I'm saying? But that's not my job, you know what I'm saying? I'm only
yeah.
here to cover my ground. I can't focus on like things they did and allow that to like fuel me. You know what I mean? Like be on some like, nah, I'm not doing that because they did like no, and that's justified. It's not justified. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Being a piece of shit is not justified. Like,
Yeah,
you know? So like, and so like when it comes to the heart chakra, it's like for me, I literally had to like look myself in the mirror and just said, yo, like, listen, your
yeah,
mom literally did the best like she could do. You know what I mean? Like I seen my mom go through her different battles, you know what I'm saying? But it was like when it came to like the love I was receiving, I wasn't like correlating the two together. But it's like when someone's going through these physical ailments, like one after one after one through different surgeries and then out the hospital, you know, like my mom was spent 5 years, like from my 8th grade to like my 12th grade year. Like, and then after like my brother passed away too, it was like, it was hard for her to even show love to any of her children. But
yeah,
it was like, that still like made me angry because it's like, I looked at it like, well, who's here for me? You know what I'm saying? So then also, like, whenever you're losing relatives and things like that, that's also going to hinder like or could hinder like how you give love and receive love. Because it's like when you feel like you don't have when you feel like the closest ones to you is just gone, like it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like I was going through like a lot of all these things was just playing in my mind for these different like 2 years, and then they're like the other half, like the last 2 years is just a spent healing. Like next minute you know, like I came across like a certain spiritualist video, and like he was just like, nah, man, you need to meditate, bro. You need to meditate, like your
yeah,
spiritual self. And like, I'm like, meditate, like, bro, who is this tall dude? Like, he played basketball, telling me to meditate, like, yo, and he's like, yo, and he's really adamant. Like, I was not used to like people like who look like us that meditate. Like, I'm used to like
dude,
supreme,
you
like
wait. So
bald
you
dude in monk robes, you know, like,
you had your awakening through spiritual soul?
yeah.
Me too, bruh.
Like, no, no,
That's
no.
wild. Oh, I
Like, so next minute, you know, like, boom, like, and this is literally like a month, not even like a month into me living with my father, you
yeah,
know, and it was like I was extremely feeling like I didn't want to be of this realm no more, you know, like because it was like I lost my job because it was like defamation of character, like boom. And then after that, like my mom pretty much like forced me out the house. So then it was like that's why I ended up living with my father. So then it's like boom. I'm just sitting here like yo, I got people thinking I'm a POS. Like I now like my own mom don't freaking want me. Like it's the second time like she forced me out the crib. Like and then I'm just thinking like, wow, like why am I even here? Like what is like Ryan's not here no more. Like why should I be here? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like it was like that. And then that's when like my friend like literally just sent me some spiritual soul video. And then it was like he was just telling me like to check out this one certain part for real. But I ended up watching the whole video and the whole time it's just saying like this is why you need to meditate.
yeah,
This is what's going on and over here. And then I'm like, wait, what? Like huh? Like so then let's start digging more on this channel and then like one day my dad had think he like went to the office or something, and then I literally like first time meditating, I laid down on my floor, and yo, it was like, you know, our body getting all tingly and shit. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like all I did was like I just went on YouTube and put on some random guided meditation, right? Like was like one of the first few videos or something. Like I'm like, okay, this looks cool.
yeah.
you know, body all tingling and shit. I'm like, yo, like what's going on? And then I just couldn't move no more. Like, I just couldn't move. But I felt so calm and so at peace, like so at peace. And then that's when like I literally like moved into like a sitting up, like sitting praying position, I guess. And like this divine white light just came over me, like, and then like it was just so blissful. And I was just like, I became a crackhead for meditation after that, like literally a crackhead for med. I was like, what is that? Like I literally felt like I was like, that was like if I put meditation in a pipe, I would smoke it. Like
Bro,
roll it up. Like it's that meditation side. Like what? Like, dude. And yeah, so it was like, and that's why it led me into like what I'm doing now, like teaching people about meditation or just like helping them like just deal with their shadow and stuff like that. And yeah, like so like that heart chakra is so important, right? Because it's like we already struggle with the lower chakras just meant,
yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? Especially that sacral chakra. Woo! You
That's
know what I mean? Like that sacral chakra.
heavy.
Like I man, you being a little bit too creative. Like, come on, man. Like, but it's like it's at that heart chakra where it's like it bridges us. So it's like we have to understand, like, and understand and overstand love. You know what I'm saying? And feel that on all levels. You know
That
what I'm saying? In order to like make sure our ascension is flowing properly. You know what I mean? Because it's like you may be experiencing like crown chakra like things or like third eye chakra thing, you know, but it's not until like you really like heal that heart chakra to eat like boom, like to where it's even going to open that more up to you. Like it is truly a bridge.
Yeah.
you know. And it's like, as like men, like we have to get out that whole entire space of like, oh, we're hard, like we're bad to the bone, you know what I mean? Like, nah, like that's not the wave no more. That's cool, that's not cool, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's like, be you, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a poser. Like, I'll be the first one to say, yo, I love being cuddled by a woman, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't
when my
blame you.
God is felt like, hold me. Like, like what? You know what I'm saying? What? I'm taking spiritual baths, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting my crystal, I'm getting my salts, you feel me? What? Like, nah, like I'm gonna pamper myself. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
You know
crazy.
what I mean? Well, I don't want my beer up sometimes, mustache kind of crazy right now. We gonna take care of it after the video, you know?
Spoken like a true cancer.
You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Hey,
What?
hey,
You know what I mean? Like, telling you, like, what? That's no love. You know what I'm saying? I love, right? I'm telling you. That's how you get right there. But I'm done. I'm
That's that cancer right there.
done.
facts though. It's facts. It's
I love
facts.
me a spiritual bath. Go to sleep
Yo,
right in.
Dream, you got a topic you want to talk about?
I got one. This one right here is pretty much the traits of the divine masculine, how to tell when you're imbalanced, and then how to balance that with your divine feminine within. So all right. So pretty much the one of the easiest ways to to upgrade your divine masculine is simple. But what's not simple is purging and pretty much decluttering pretty much. So like an affirmation for someone that just awakened or someone that's pretty much dedicated to doing affirmations every single day to empower themselves, it wouldn't be as powerful so think of it like a think of it like a plate that you didn't wash for, let's say, 50 years. And it's like, what do you expect when you haven't washed that dish for, like, let's say, a month or 2 months? It's like it's hard to take out the longer it sticks. Does that make sense? And
Yeah,
when the energy flows through to where all that is flowing through you is energy without any type of like pieces of rock, let's say, within that pipe, is like it's a whole lot easier to like attract that energy of what you want when there's nothing else that you have to remove. So pretty much the first pretty much the first thing with to upgrade your divine masculine is to pretty much have boundaries. And also, besides boundaries, of course, yeah, affirmations. So one of the affirmations that you would want to keep doing are affirmations of what you already have, and knowing that you have it.
yeah,
But it's best to also do these affirmations pretty much based on the zodiac. So if it's Aries season, you would affirm with the I am affirmations. If it's Taurus season, you would affirm with the I have affirmations. So pretty much, to sum it all into one, pretty much almost like a truth seeking, pretty much being on that truth seeking path. That's another way to upgrade your divine masculine, or that's how to tell that you have those powerful traits of being divine masculine.
yeah,
Now all we have to do is learn how to put into a routine to where it becomes a daily habit, and to where it's something that can be registered into the subconscious, which is how you can balance that with the divine masculine as in the divine feminine, so that everything's in harmony. So pretty much how to tell if you're in balance is if you feel drained. Now shout out to New Life Tools, brother Yosef. Pretty much what I've learned was that sometimes when you feel drained, usually people would think it's because of ascension symptoms, but sometimes it can be because of like an entity that's attached to their auric field, to
yeah,
where they won't feel as energized or energetic as they once were, or they might absorb the thoughts, or they might absorb like some type of like negative energy from the entity that's trying to latch, which is why it's important for us to learn to remove, or to at least spiritually cleanse ourselves, so that
Yeah.
we're put in the position to actually be our divine masculine. But people think that first you must work before you have, but you got to know that you have before you know what to go towards, what you're propelling yourself towards. So pretty much, like what Cosmic would say, pretty much people would think you have to get it right down here for it to be right. So as above, so below. So pretty much you gotta have it in the mind to have it in the of course the 3D.
Yeah.
So since this is a divine masculine podcast, to make it brief about feminine, it all starts feminine first, and then the masculine,
Mm.
pretty much. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much how to balance it. Know that you already have, and knowing that it's all right. It's okay to how do I explain it? It's okay if things don't always make sense, aka it's okay if things aren't always practical. Like the times that we're in now can be very impractical. And then now Saturn hit Pisces, and now
Yep.
during the start of Aries season, or probably towards the end of Pisces season, that's when Pluto hits Aquarius. So now that information and that artificial intelligence now starts to amplify even more, toward either kills people or it actually can help people transform. So that information, that's pretty much the new will for the divine masculine moving forward. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what's up. Appreciate you for sharing that.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, my cat's out now. They just woke up. Uh, yeah, but yeah, we'll shout out some comments. Okay, we got Thee. Shout out to Thee. She in the building. Okay. Jamila, just a
Alright.
chicken. Shout out to Hey Thee said, low key offer culling services. Hey yo. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Do you? Do you? Do you? No, but all right. So the next topic, and we could just make this pretty much the last one because that's pretty much what it's talking about. Just life purpose, your spiritual awakening, lessons and tests that you kind of been through, and where that leads you now into your, your journey. So I'll start it off first.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the tough ones right here. But no, so I had my awakening, like I said, through spiritual soul, 2019. August, I think August, September 2019. I just stumbled across his videos, man. I stumbled across his videos.
August
Um,
2018.
August 2020. I mean
Oh,
2019. 2019. It was really when I started, like when I actively was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Was like May 2020. But this is what I knew everything, and I was still trying to cling on to the matrix. So yeah, but yeah, August 2019, I stumbled upon Spiritual Soul, and every video I watched, like it just was like it was fear because at the time I was still low vibration, I was still eating bad, you know what I'm saying? So I just got fear from the videos he was showing, even though I knew it was facts because I felt it within my soul. I felt that jump, and it was like my soul was vibrating, like the core of my being was vibrating like crazy, bro. Like it was just wild, like it was just going out of control. Like I couldn't ignore what I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I did my whole life because being a guy growing up, I was always a sensitive person. Being a Pisces moon, Pisces sun, like what you know what I'm saying? Like so that's all
wow.
I got all of me. That's all me.
Double Pisces?
Man, don't even get me started.
What?
But I was just like, I was always sensitive. I was always in that way. And growing up, they make you feel like you can't be sensitive, toughen up. You know what I'm saying? Tough love and this and that. So that basically just told me, okay, put a wall up, don't share nothing, don't express nothing, right? So that's what I did. 2019. I watched binge watched all his videos. By the way, like literally, like within that same day or at least 2 days, I binge watched all his videos, and I binge watched all them guys. And I was just like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this to happen. Let me go back to normal. Go back to normal, right? And I'm talking about my channel. This channel was popping off 2019, bro. Like I was still doing my gaming. It was popping off. Like I was big in the gaming scene. Like I knew a lot of big YouTubers. Like it was crazy. But it was just time for me to move to a different thing. And I remember later that year, because I was still trying to cling on to the Matrix, even though I knew what was happening. I knew exactly what was going on. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So Spirit like, okay, say less. We finna awaken this clear audience and so you can see what's really going on. So I was just like, okay. My grandpa, which I still believe to this day is one of my guides, came through my clear audience and he called my name out. His voice was very like, like grandpa voices, like the tough voices. He's like he called my name in that voice, and I was just tuned in during that time. Like I don't know what was going on, but it was just like I didn't know because I wasn't aware, right? I wasn't aware of the gifts. I just was aware, okay, chosen ones, your soul, you're here for a bigger purpose. Basically the base you need for like that spiritual awakening to know who you truly are, why you're here, what you need to do to get to that next stage. Like I didn't get that deep down the rabbit hole until like the latter year, like 2020, like late 2020. But uh yeah, but I had that experience when my grandpa communicated to me through my gift clear audience, and I was just freaked out. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared to sleep in my own room for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I was scared to be alone, bro. I was scared to be alone because I knew when I got alone, weird shit starts happening. Like, no, we're
Swear.
not doing this, bro. But it was just like spirit was on me heavy that year, man. Like and then swift into uh January 2020 quarantine, right? That's what really was like, nah, you really finna hop on this journey, fam. So yeah, 2020 it was quarantine, and I remember my cousins were staying with us for a little while, my little cousins, and they were just distractions. Now that I'm aware, like they were just really, it wasn't them, but it was just distractions for me. Like I was actively like, okay, I'm gonna use this person. I'm gonna use it as a distraction, not consciously, but unconsciously. I was like, okay, distraction, game, play games with them, PS4 or Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? The basics. So I was just like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, while still like, okay, let me get on the mental. Let's see, right? Because all I would think, okay, you're chosen when you're here for a bigger purpose. You're magical. You have all these gifts and abilities. So I tried grounding. Wasn't I was out there for like 3 minutes and left back out. It was nothing happened with that. But I grounded and it was nothing. I tried to meditate, fell asleep. So it was just like I was just no. But I would say I was still doing the same things until around May 2020. So almost it'll be 3 years this May that I've been on my journey. But May 2020, the Floyd May the I said Floyd Mayweather. What's the dude name who was going on the news that they had held the police knee on his neck and he passed through that.
George Floyd.
Yeah, thank you, George Floyd. Yeah, but he was on the news, and I remember my mom like, oh look at this, George Floyd's on the news, and I was up front with my mom. I had my bed up front because I was like, bro, you know what? I ain't sleeping in my room. That's how bad it was, yo. I didn't want to sleep in my room. A whole grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't scare sleep in my room. That's how serious it was though, and it was just wild. But I remember her saying George Floyd, the news, da, 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 da. And I just felt this intense fear. I just felt this fear like I was so hypersensitive during that time. Like, man, it was crazy, bro. It's like my sensors was just activated, bro. And I felt the fear coming from the news, coming from her saying, I felt that fear instantly. And then I was like, nope, no, I'm not doing this. Picked up my little airbed, went in my room, closed it up, and then my mind, I never forget this. What she said, you can't run from this. This the real world. This is what I remember her saying that. So cool, you can't run from this. This the real world. What you think you gonna happen? You can't run away from this. So I was just like, nah, bro. I knew at that moment, it's like everything I learned was like the culmination of everything I had learned in 2019. I knew, nah, fam, there's people projecting fear, projecting their emotions onto you. Don't do it. So I closed my door, got in there, and I was still in that moment of depression and sadness because I'm like, bro, I'm alone. I have nobody that understands. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no one. And like, it's still like times now, even though I know I'm not alone, I'm never alone. I could pick up, I could call, I could text y'all, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? To have that person in physical is nothing like having someone physically there that understands. You know what I'm saying? It's not like nothing like that. I can connect the spirit, and that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, but at that moment, though, I just really needed somebody, and nobody was there for me except for spirit at the time. I didn't know, but nobody in my physical reality at the moment. You know what I'm saying? That could really help me on that journey. And I remember this period between when I started meditating and actually going deep. I was just like, bro, like I'm alone. I'm just here. And then I remember laying down and closing my eyes on. I think I was in a meditation. Like this was when I first really started to actually try to meditate the first time. And I just like, why am I here? What do I want to do? And the first thing that came to my mind was help someone. But what I envisioned was pushing someone out of the way of a car. That's what I envisioned, right? But the reason I was like, what I want to do in my life, why am I really here? And it was like to help. That's what I got to help, to help in my way, right? And that's what my life purpose now is like. I'm stepping up to like speak more because I wasn't the dude to speak. I always swayed away from speaking in class, speaking anywhere in public places. You know what I'm saying? So I was always that shy person, but it's like I just broke out of that. That lying part of me was just like, nah, fam, you finna say this, you finna say that, you better speak up, right? But that was just how it was, and it was like, nah, bro, yo, Heather, shout out to Heather, she just got in here. What's up? But yeah, it was just like, man, I have to change. Something have to change. And it was like my higher self came down from 5D and just stepped in my body and was just making me do things. That's how I was like, okay, boom. I went vegan instantly. I second thoughts, none of that. I went vegan, straight vegan, right? Fresh fruits, veggies, I just went in. And then I remember our apartment had like a little circle. It was kind of like a cul-de-sac, but it's not a cul-de-sac. But within that space, it was like you can go around and it was apartments on all edges. So I would walk around the apartments like 3 4 times. I'll get up, walk in the sun, like just exercising, getting out, right? And that's just what I would do. And I started doing yoga, meditation, all that. And then I tuned in. I remember Spiritual Soul dropping his Discord link, if you remember that, Cosmic. But I remember he dropped his Discord link in May, and I joined Discord. I'm like, okay, let me join Discord. Let's see what's happening. I want to meet other spiritual people who are on this journey, right? And I wind up stepping into this Discord, and I think the guy's name on Discord was Night God, and he had basically like a spiritual Discord. He had things, messages there, like people could post like their moon pictures, their sky pictures, like whatever you want, like pertaining to spirituality. And that's how I started really learning. And I met this goddess. I won't say her real name, but at the time, was Galaxy at the time. So that I would call her Galaxy. She was tuned in, she was tapped in, and I started learning from her and just communicating with her. But pretty much long story short, like later on that year, I spirit pulled me to take a break from TV. It was like August 2020. I don't know what's up with August in this live today, but yeah, it was like August 2020. Strip was like, nope, no anime, don't watch TV, none of that. Cut it off, go within. So I went within. It's like every time I took breaks off of TV, I came back with gifts unlocked. The first time I had clairaudience and I started to hear spirit. Second time it was pyrokinesis and I was able to control fire, which is still energy. Like all the elements is energy at the end of the day. So you're just manipulating the energy. But um and that's just pretty much it for me. And I feel like spirit is pushing me in this way of being able to be of help, right? And in this dream I have, bro, like that I really haven't shared with anybody, bro. But I feel like I want to share it, you know what I'm saying, today. But it was like this dream, that I have is like creating like this Hogwarts school on like real earth, but like practically like a school on earth where you can have all the information, right? We have Reiki teachers, practitioners, and pretty much everyone in spiritual nutrition is bringing everyone together into this like dorm type school, right? And to be able to teach people one on one, you know what I'm saying, and really connect people and have that information like from the ethers, and literally have that be like a channel for that energy, you know what I'm saying, to allow people to elevate through that information. But yeah, that's that was a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, yo.
Ooh, that's powerful, man. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, bro. Yep. But y'all can speak on y'all journey.
All right. I guess I'll go next. So like my spiritual awakening, like I feel like spiritual shows the one that got me to really tune in. But I felt like I've always been activated, because when I was a kid, like I always like, and I tell like Dream this like privately, I felt like when I was a kid, like my gifts were stronger than like what they were now, because it was like my dreams were so wild, like my like my dreams were so wild. Like and then I was able to control them, like astral project. Like, it was just so dope, like you know. And but I'm thinking like it's just my imagination and stuff like that. But it wasn't like whenever I started to go to school, that's whenever I started to like lose grip of that, I guess. And then I would experience like different things like periodically, and then once when I started to like lose different like family members, like I think that's whenever like I put this emotional wall up, and then that just pretty much just shut everything down, you know. Um yeah, I definitely that's pretty much just shut everything down because I started to like hide my emotions and the way I feel and stuff like that whenever I was like 8, 9 years old, right? Because I witnessed like my like great grandfather like pass in front of me, and
Same.
you know,
Wow.
That's
whoa,
wild,
whoa,
dude.
yeah, like so because I was staying home from school, like I struggled with asthma growing up, and like during the winter time, like in February, like the thing gets like, well, like I said, the air gets real thin, like in Pittsburgh, right? Like, and and also for other reasons you can't say, but so I always have problems like with breathing and stuff like that, and then that would lead to like other sicknesses and stuff. So it was like I was used to like just this time period of like taking school off, and then I would go to my grandma's house, right? Like I was fortunate enough to like know like my grandma and my great grandma on both sides of my family, right? And this day, like my stepdad takes me over to my grand's house, and then as soon as I get there, like my great grandma calls her and was like, "Yeah, I need you to come down here and check out your father. Like he's not looking too good. Like at this moment, like he was still in the bed, I think. And then once when we got there, he like got up, got out of his bed, and then came to the top of the steps and then just like dropped, right? And then I guess they already like called 911, and it was like because right after like he dropped, not too long after that, I just seen like just EMTs and paramedics just bum rushing it, right? Like I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Like it was just scary. So then, yeah, like get to the hospital, and then it's just literally it's just me, my grandma, and my great grandma just in this small room, right? And then that's when like doctor comes in and like tells us the news, and I see them like break down, but then like I like knew what happened, understood what happened, but it was like I didn't feel like that was my moment right there to like cry, because I wanted to be there for them. So at that moment, at that young age, is where like I just shut my emotions off, right? But I didn't know like what I was doing, and then like that just created like this type of numbness. So like whenever like certain things like happen and how it would affect other people, it would affect me the same way, but it was something that would like come out later. You know what I mean? Like and it's like with I heavily relate to the water energy because it's like with being like a triple Cancer. It's like being Cancer, Sun, Moon. Like, yo, my Cancer, Mercury. Like,
Yeah.
yo, it gets wild over here. It's like whenever you, it's like that water is what ties like our power. So it's like whenever you cut off that emotion, that water, it's like boom. I felt like that's what was like hindering me. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like after my brother passes and stuff, I go into the military. Boom, that doesn't work out. Come home, fall into like this depression, like what I was mentioning earlier, and then boom comes like the spiritual soul moment. You know,
Yeah.
like and this became like a straight crackhead for meditation. But then also I started to watch like Isis wisdom videos, like Enoch, Dola, like all these other different spiritual YouTubers.
Yeah.
And like actually I just keep hearing this word like shadow work. Like shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. I'm like, yo, what's a shadow, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about Sonics, boy? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like shadow, like, you know. So then, because me naturally, I was like always like comfortable to talk to like anyone outside of my family about myself. You know what I mean? Like I've always been like transparent with like other people. It's always harder for me to open up when it came to family because I felt like they never understood, right? Because for one, if I tell them like these certain dreams I'm having or like going through sleep paralysis, they might think I'm crazy or stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know,
Yeah.
or like just astral projecting. Like, like I can't tell them that, you know
Right.
what I mean? And yeah, like so back to like the whole like with spiritual, so like it was just well now with the shadow work it literally like when I started to learn more about that, like I was like nah, it just felt like me in a way, like I felt like I was supposed to like heal like heal myself and then express my journey, and then like what shadow work is supposed to be the main thing, right? Because it's like what I've learned too is like that shadow that shadow is the reason why we feel the way we feel at times, you know. And we also can't be the ones to sit there and push our shadow like away. We're supposed to hug our shadow
Yeah.
because that's how it ended up like that in the first place. And this wasn't just after like this lifetime, it's lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's like nah, like we're in this age where we find like we have a chance to heal the shadow, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And to really love ourselves and just love everybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta like everybody, but you can love everybody. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that was something too, like I had to learn because it was like different, wasn't just like different like intimate relationships, but just different friendships and stuff like that that didn't work out. Like how it like hurts you and kind of like puts you to the test and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like these is like different lessons that you have to learn, and everybody experience it differently and like experience it like at a different time like on their path, you know. And it's like these are just things that like I started to just pick up on. Like I just started to just like I got journals for days, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like like I would literally if I could pick this up, I would show you. Well, I
Mm.
got literally like 14 journals in front of me right now,
Dang.
you know? And
Yeah.
it's like I love writing, but that was something that like I've just did naturally. Like I started to like write music and poetry when I was like 6 years old, you know, and that was like my way of releasing like things because I felt like I couldn't talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like what Earl Sweatshirt said in the song, it's like too white for the black kids and then too black for the white. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's like, or you like they go over here, they call you a Oreo. They go over here, it's like they start stereotyping you, you know?
Right.
Like so then yeah, it's like, well, it was just something about that August 2020 to where
Yeah.
I was like, enough is enough. Like I felt like I was going to die. And I remember telling this like in the men's group on Telegram. Like I felt like I was going to die, but not like physically. I just knew like I was going to go through a death like experience. And then it
Yeah.
felt like that's what that meditation was. You know what I'm saying? Because it like that was the first time where I was like at peace in years, like in years, because it's like the weight that we carry, it's just piled up like on our bodies and our auras. You know what I'm saying? I started to think like over like even like now I still be thinking back this like wow, like how much like I've carried and I haven't let go for so many years,
Yeah.
you know? And then once when I started to just you say like, you know what, yo, shit happens. You know?
Yeah.
But you know what? There's another day. There's another day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all I can do is just control me. I can't control the whole situation, but I can control the situation within me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like facts. And then one thing I'm gonna do now is like my anxiety is a clear indicator that I'm an empath.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or boom, that lets me know something like with my intuition. So it was like really like pairing different things that like my struggles and really like, okay, well, what is this spiritually?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, you're not just hearing shit. Like you're clairaudient. Like
Hey.
you know? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like you're not schizophrenic, bro. Like you got all the clarity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it is. So it was like once when like, because I was on the whole YouTuber thing for like a year, solid year and a half, and I was like, yo, this is just not working. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because it's like it's the same. For me, I felt like it was the same regurgitated information because it was
Right.
like
It's just
something because it was like yeah the same regurgitated information because it was like they can only say so much on the net, you know. So then I was like nah, like spirit, I need like to find like a mentor or something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And that's how it led me to like Telegram, because I forgot like why like the first thing I was in, I think it was like Isis Wisdom was doing a lot,
Same.
you know. And boom, like so I was in Isis's group, and then next minute you know like I think someone sent me like a dojo link from there, like, and then boom, like that's how like I got into like the dojo and the ascension and all that, and that's where it's like salute to everybody in there because that's where it was like really like just really
Yeah.
got on my P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like it's time to like not like stop learning, but it's time to learn and apply. You know what I mean? Because for the past like year or so, you've been learning how effed up things are. You've been
Yeah.
learning how like you've been this and that, but then also you've been learning like what you need to heal within yourself. So now it's time to do the work. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And then boom, and then it was like I just kicked it in the gear. You know what I mean? Like next minute, you know, like I'm shedding tears and shit. I'm like, what? Like I don't be
Yeah.
crying, bro. Like I'm a cancer, but I'm a tough cancer. You know,
Facts.
like I'm like the 50 Cent cancer. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so then once when I was like, whoa, like, and then next minute, you know, bro, like I'm like able just to do these different things like at will. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like these different spiritual gifts that's like at will to where it's like boom, like with chronokinesis, like I use that every single morning to slow down time after my first alarm goes off. Like
Mm.
what? I'm gonna make the time between this first alarm and the second alarm feel like an hour. Like, and it could only be like how long snooze? Like 9 minutes? Like what?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be the best 9 minutes like ever. Like, you know, I can do this today. And then I get into my meditation, like boom. Oh, and that's another thing too, like along with my awakening is like a lesson I've learned, like it's like creating a spiritual routine. Like have a spiritual plan, yo. You know what I'm saying? On throat chakra, they do throat chakra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. Like, I don't care if it's like just like speaking up for yourself, or like, let's say it's just like you can even make a video just for you, right? And just getting everything out you gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that goes such a long way. And it's like when you tell people this is like, it comes off as like corny or something like that. And it's like, nah, like it's not corny. It's just something that like it works and it helps because you have to express yourself. And it's like, if you can't express yourself to yourself, you can't express yourself to
To
nobody,
anyone.
Facts.
you know? Like, and that's a big thing too. I learned because it was like I was so unhappy with myself to where it was like I just be in my room and I'm just sitting here just like this. I mean, hop on 2K or something, get bored. All right, I'm back to this. All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
roll up now. All right, I'm back to this. Like nothing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like no expression. But then it's like I get in the party with the homies or something. Somebody call me. Next minute you know, like Cortland's live. Like what's poppin', yo? Like what? Like I'm
Yeah.
Mr. Funny. Da 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 da. By myself. Nope. Like, and it's like nah. Like I had to literally like get comfortable with myself, and that's like all comes in like with the shadow. I had to identify like what did I didn't like about myself. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But what does that also like transmute into? You know what I mean? Because everything, everything has two sides. Everything has two sides. Like so, whenever we're literally like going through these things and learning these different things, it's like it's going to like arise like some toxic things about ourselves. But it was like we could heal that toxicity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my spiritual awakening is like it's been like a hell of a ride. Hella scary. Like
Yeah.
hella
Definitely.
scary. Cause like you waking up and there's just some beings around you, but they're not physically around you. Like, like
Facts.
who are you? And be like, oh, like I'm your spirit guy. Like, oh, hey, Mr. Spirit guy. Like,
That's facts.
right, like you know, there's different things, and then, but it's so dope because the journey itself is literally endless. You know,
Yeah.
especially when you start learning about like different soul aspects of yourself. Like, oh, like this part of your soul connects with this. This part is to that, or like your light language, your soul song. Like these is all things like all of us have. You know, and the more and more like we discover self and heal self and love self, that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna like bring us in and like just to where we want to be and where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
Facts.
in order, it's like we have to like in order to get that, we're gonna have to release stuff, and all that toxic stuff is what we're gonna have to release. We're gonna have to change that ego and the logic.
Facts.
But yeah,
That's powerful, bro. That's powerful. Yeah. Shout out to Christy though for Ascension and Dojo. Definitely shout out to Christy. Yeah.
is there?
Definitely.
Uh, but yeah, Dream. You can speak about a little bit about your awakening, and I guess after that we can just talk about how we learned and grown from it, and we can end it off with
So Miss Whitney Houston, shout out to her. She's the reason why I'm on this path.
that. Fact.
So yeah. So pretty much she came to me some way somehow. It was just through just I don't know if I was in love with the character or if it was just the music that I was listening to or if it was actually me just but I didn't think of it like past lives. So that was basically what triggered that's pretty much what triggered my interest in wanting to go deeper than just what I'm told or what I'm seeing, black and white, right? So like that's where that's where I was talking to my aunt, my Aquarius aunt, and I was thinking I don't know what I was thinking about it. It was just I just needed to talk to someone because I have this connection and I just don't know why. And it's like I'm crying. It's like I'm emotional. It's like and then what's ironic is that the North Node, the transit of the North Node in 2019 was in Cancer, and that's my North Node, right? That's my North Node in my natal chart.
Mm.
So it was pretty much like that. It was pretty much that moment for me where that was like a purpose awakening for me, or that was like that's where it hit home, and that resonates with Cancer. So it hit home for me to where once I started to wake up, it was like meditation. So I was told this is a way to connect. So then I just hop into a Ralph Smart video. So pretty much, yes, Spiritual Soul was like the first YouTube channel I watched in terms of spiritual videos, but Ralph Smart was the one that hit me. But the Spiritual Soul with the sun gazing, that was like I think one of the first videos I watched. So that also made it interesting. But then the interesting part of where he was saying, where Ralph Smart was saying, this is the Matrix, because pretty much the first video I watched was the seven chakras. So he was
Mm.
describing the foods you eat, pretty much the herbs that you take, and pretty much what to expect when it's balanced or when it's imbalanced. And then he was talking about the world's fake. The Matrix is a simulation with his like with his like energy in the video. It was like whoa.
Yeah.
It's like he looked psychedelic as fuck. Like it was like I don't know. It was like the way the videos were made, or like pretty much everything was picture perfect in the moment of watching the videos, and the words were just clicking.
Yeah.
And then I started to forget all about meditation, and it was like, oh, let me think about how the world's fake. So that was pretty much my whole rabbit hole for like for since then, and still to this day. So pretty much music in general is what really like also known as love as well. It's pretty much what drives me. It's like it does to you things that it's like how do you explain love? Because I don't know. It's like not everyone here on this planet has experienced what true love really what true love really is, other than the true love that they experience when, let's say, they have their firstborn. That's pretty much when they're at their highest point of what it means to love, or what it means to be in that grace, to have grace. And pretty much that was like a quote unquote, let's say, graceful moment at that moment, where it goes from, let's say, a Whitney Houston experience, and then it just goes from that into, now I want to learn about why the world is fake. Now that I'm into this YouTube stuff, which I've been in for all of 2020 and 2021, it was more just wanting to overload myself with information, even though I had an issue with applying the information that I'm being told. So for myself, my issue was at that in those moments was applying the knowledge, because for people like us, or for people like myself, to say the least, like me, I wanted to jump already into the metaphysics. I already wanted to jump
The
into
woo
the
woo,
esoteric. You said what?
the woo woo shit.
Yup. Because that's what Ralph Smart did for me.
Mm.
That
It's
was what
crazy.
that's what he did for me, to where I wanted to go deeper, without the work, without the proper foundation, or that solid foundation. It was just words. It was just chatting. They were just chatting, pretty much, almost as if I couldn't believe the information, even though I believed it, so that there was something that I can look forward to. So yeah. So like, how do I explain this? So the downs of the spiritual journey is who to trust. So
Right.
that was pretty much like my dark night of the soul experience as
Mhm.
well, when it comes down to who's lying, who's telling the truth. Because I don't like it when people lie about their information and stuff, and that's like a big thing for me. So it all started with my aunt, with what she's experienced in the astral planes, and what she said that she's done, or what she said that she's done in terms of contacting the woman that awakened me. And then that was the start of where my trust issues started to go like insane, just because of, that one person that understood you, like that Aquarius that I talked about. It's like my aunt's an Aquarius, like it's like that one woman or that dude that understands you out of everybody on the planet. that you can just talk to this information about just betrayed you or something like that. Or it's like backstabbing. It's like all these books about the fifth dimension or ascension or these the metaphysical crystal shop that she owns, that she has. And then essential oils is like everything in front of you, just for you to convince yourself that this woman has it, and
Mm-hmm.
someone that you can learn it from, and for that to be like, and then for all of that to just not mean anything. It was just, I didn't know where to go from there and stuff. So yeah, and it's like ever since then it's been this thing about not wanting to be alone either. But I don't know how to explain what I wanted as far as either being with someone or being alone, because I never had that woman experience. It was more so of me playing that game 2K, and I was just I was just going berserk on that Xbox controller. So the way that I could understand myself was just through music, and that was my way of like pretty much starting a conversation moving forward before I can even talk about other things, if people have deeper things to talk about. But other than that, it's more so like that 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 Jim Carrey shit in that Truman Show movie. Good morning,
Yep.
good afternoon. If I don't see you the rest of the day, good evening, good night. Like my whole that's like the whole thing. That's like the whole theme of my first 20 21 years of my life. And that would, but what motivated me a lot moving forward was knowing that I was supported, knowing that there's a higher force that I'm working with. And then also meeting very life-changing people that have pretty much transformed my spiritual transformation process. And the reason why I felt like I wasn't progressing, because everything just didn't make sense. Like everything is moving so fast, or like pretty much the planet was shifting so fast that like if I was just to be in the room, let's say 3 months without any doing anything, it just felt like what is it that I'm really doing? Like, am I upgrading? Am I activating? Because I'm feeling tired as hell, or I'm just watching videos on YouTube, but am I really progressing? Other Because other than that, it felt like a hole that I dug myself, that I chose to make myself dig. And it's hard to explain. Um, so pretty much I was in that truth seeking, like I had that truth seeking mentality that drifted me away from love, but it was more so of obsession. So it went from love to now being obsessed with trying to like go after what I already know. Just didn't realize that I knew already. So like yeah, we can maybe I could what was the last question for the podcast? Maybe I could like continue from where I left off, starting with me. So what's the
Uh,
last question?
I think the last topic,
Yeah, the last topic.
was basically how we grown, the knowledge we learned, how it transformed our lives, our awakening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah. But I guess I'll start, and then we can just talk about it. We don't gotta make it too long because we already at almost 2 hours
Two
in.
hours.
Going
Yeah, but
in.
going in, but I feel like man, I feel like I just learned that like you're not alone in this. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is going how it needs to go. And I feel like the universe keep testing me back to back to back to back to back. Like, you know what I'm saying? You think something this gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? It's not. Like we got you 100%. Like I said this in Ascension, and Christy quoted me and freaking pinned it in the chat. Spirit can see around corners you can't see. They can see around things you just can't comprehend yet. and that's okay. And another thing is like you don't have to know everything right now, and that just because you believe something else, don't believe you're wrong. Who said there can't be two truths? You know what I'm saying? And then even the information we know now, who says that some or some parts of that is cap? You know what I'm saying? Or you just haven't learned more about that, or maybe oh maybe I was just seeing it from that perspective. Like I always said, like information is vibration. So the higher you go in vibration, the more you can like handle. Just like the higher vibration you go, like the more energies you can handle your body, the more vibrations you can handle. So I feel like I'm okay with not knowing everything in this now moment, but I understand that I have everything, all the information within me. So it's about raising my vibration and frequency to be able to understand and comprehend that information at that level of consciousness. So I feel like I just learned to go with it and just do what you can do and not be so hard on yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's I feel like mostly the overall for me, I would say. What is yours, Cortland?
All right. Excuse me. I'd say definitely for me, like, and then like it's a reoccurring one. And then when it comes back around, it punches hard, like knocks
Facts.
the glasses off my face hard. Like, and that's literally trusting your intuition, yo. Like, oh my, like if I would trust my intuition like so many different times, like all those like what if moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like I needed to go through those experiences to teach me why to never like go against it, you know what I'm saying? Or why to justify like that, why it doesn't make sense. Cause it's like, nah, like spirits trying like gave you the answers getting through, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like whether it be like that gut feeling or you were just straight up just told it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like you gotta follow, or if you stall it or whatever, like you gotta follow that intuition. You know what I'm saying? Or if like you're in like, let's say like you go to like a party or something, right? And then all right, the vibe don't feel right, but then now you got a bad taste in your mouth and you didn't eat nothing nasty. You like, you know what I'm saying? You brush your
Yeah.
teeth, you did all that, and now like that Claire Gustins is going on. It's like, nah, you gotta get up out of there. And then now something happens, you know what I mean? And then now you have to experience something that you shouldn't have to experience. But then now since you've experienced, now you can learn from it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because since you obviously didn't like you obviously didn't absorb the lesson fully beforehand, but now you have something where you can be like, you know what? When this happens, I know I got to get my ass up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Or I'm not going there, or I'm not letting this person over, or I'm not shaking this person's hand because people's energy be funky. Like, like, and you just got to trust that intuition. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's like, if you're not trusting your intuition, you're not trusting yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you can't trust yourself, you're not trusting nobody. You know
Facts.
what I mean? Because it's not, we got to also stop looking at it like our spirit and like our spirit team and these different beings and stuff is like something, it's like something like away from us. Like it's something like outside of us. Like, no, it's something that's internally built into us.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we are everything. You know what I'm saying? Literally everything. Like, I'm this alarm clock if I want to be, dude. Like,
Man.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's like through energy, I'm connected to that alarm clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, so trusting that intuition, literally, like it goes such a long way. And then it literally is like, and as you just trust it, like just as the basics, like as you just start listening, then you open up the door for these other spiritual gifts stuff to activate for you. You know what I'm saying? Because now you can handle something like prophecy. You know what I'm saying? It's like we always want the cool, dope shit first, but it's like we got to be able to like handle the foundation first before we boom. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's vice versa. Like it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like what might be strong for me, like what might be strong for me is not strong for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. but it's like we could also like teach each other and stuff like that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's like through intuition is what really like elevated my growth, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? And then also like acknowledgement, you know, like self acknowledgement to like be exact. Because it was like I was always one of them people to where it's like I'm a Cancer, it's like I'm giving everybody their flowers, right? But the
Yeah.
person in the mirror don't deserve one effing flower. You know what I'm saying? Like to where it's like, nah, yo, because I know you, I know I could be doing this more. I know like I should be doing this. I know I should be doing that. But then it's like, nah, yo, I have to acknowledge the things I have done. I have to acknowledge like where I've been. I have to acknowledge like where I'm going. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts.
Because of, like if I know if I do the first thing by like trusting my intuition, you know what I'm saying? Things is going to line up regardless. And it's like we have to realize too. It's like the divine feminine energy is either like it's going to come out like it can be real nurturing or real chaotic. But just because it's like comes off as chaotic doesn't mean it's a bad type of chaos. Because one thing about fire, it purifies shit. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you get a sickness or an illness, right, and you have a fever, the body heats up to kick that shit out. So
Mm.
it's like, boom, you know, and that's the same type of way like we could look at it too, like whenever like this energy is working in our lives and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because when you start trusting that intuition, it's going to cause a little bit of fires, but they don't really mean anything, because we have to realize like, nah, this has to go in order for me to welcome this in, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
also like releasing, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's like releasing from like people who are toxic, things we're doing, things we're eating, things we're still holding inside. Like that's also things we have to acknowledge, like too. You know what I'm saying? Once we acknowledge that, we can release that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like because the best teacher is literally like yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like boom, because it's like you can pull this from this person, you can pull that from that person, and that's beautiful. That's dope because we're all connected and now we're like a web. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to do that, right? But you're also supposed to learn from yourself as well. You know what I mean? If you can't learn the lessons from yourself, it's going to be hard for you to learn the lessons from other people because they learned that from their own experiences. Know
Facts.
what I'm saying? So that's all like how they learned it from their own experiences. You got to learn from your own experiences. There's a reason why you've been through some shit. You know what I mean? Like how Christy always says, like there's no such thing as a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like everything happens for a reason, and divine timing is extremely real. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And just how divine timing is real, divine orchestration is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're doing what you need to do, like you're doing the work, spirit is going to acknowledge you. Spirit is going to honor you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're honoring yourself. And it's like we have to be bold whenever we're doing the work. We can't just be doing the work just and be all shy about it. And I don't mean in the way of like letting everybody know, cause nah, it's not everybody's business. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? But no, don't be shy with it yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you know there's still a little part of you that's like, man, I don't know. Like, nah, we gotta let that go. Or keep doing the work until you can fully prove to yourself. You know what I'm saying? That you could like, boom, like, nah, this is me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and I love me. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And yeah, that's about it.
Yo, that's cool because it's like I be finding good things I love about myself, like more and more. Like, bro, hey, like I jump back or I like no matter what I'm going through, I always jump back to just how I am. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like we all notice the flaws, like notice the good things about you. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, how when you go out, you like the funny Cortland, you know what I'm saying? Like find that, like have that parts of you. Look at the good parts of you, you know what I'm saying? And really embrace that and see what you don't like, or let's say something that you want to shift or change about yourself. That's okay. Work on that. But nothing has to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like, but see more in the good in people and in yourself, number one. You know what I'm saying? Like before, because my mom is very loud, she like very flamboyant, you know what I'm saying? And she's a Leo, so it's like she's in control, yeah, loud, you know what I'm saying? That's just how my mom is. But it's like how and she cusses well how she say, but just how she gets stuff done, I admire about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, you it might be a little ghetto, like we all, you know what I'm saying? We all got a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, she has that. And it's like I admire that about her so much, you know. And it's something as a kid, I'm like, no, mom, don't say nothing. Or at a let's say we at McDonald's or something, and they messed up the order. She gonna tell you, hey, you messed up the order. I don't got, you know what I'm saying? But usually I'd be like, no, let me just, it's all right. Just, but she just expressed herself in a different way. And I feel like we so used to having everything constricted. We're like, no, don't say nothing. They don't know. They don't, but she openly expressed herself with no constraints. And I love that about her, you know, and I feel like a lot of people in my family and my aunt hate that, but that's just how she is. Shout out to King Shaft, he in the building. Peace and love to the guys. Appreciate you, brother. Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much all I have to say. I said what I want to learn. Dream. What did you learn from like your journey and just pretty much sum it up? We had 2 hours or 50 seconds.
Wait, what did Kaz? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, someone was calling
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
me.
So pretty much like the biggest thing of how I was able to grow, even though I think to myself I haven't grown much, is to not prolong experiences that deserve to be left behind in order
Yeah,
to evolve, at a higher level. So for me, basically, not all of the groups, not all of like the friend groups that were meant to like experience for a temporary time. They're not always meant for that. They're not always meant to always hold on a second. What the heck? Yeah. Hold on, Cosmic, check that real quick.
okay. I'm about to say you good.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, with the prolonging the experiences and stuff like that, um, all right. So with the prolonging the experiences, it pretty much is like a draining. It's pretty much very draining and very like, hold on. It's pretty much very draining and very like a waste of time to just spend all of that time like adding on to something that deserves to be left just because we have connections that we're looking forward to.
Yeah,
We have like we pretty much come across people that remind us of who we are. Like for example, let's say a very powerful primordial god from another planet. And it's like when you get confirmations and things like that, and that on that level, it's like you don't want to just ignore that information, and you don't want to let the old groups of friends that you used to have, you don't want to let that take you away from that of who you are, or that aspect of who you are. You really want to tap in and put that focus and attention towards that confirmation that you were just told about being, let's say, a primordial god, or
yeah,
being a primordial soul and stuff. And it's like that's very interesting. And when you can tap into that, and when you have all that time to connect with that, it's like it's like the more you put that energy and attention towards what you're supposed to focus on, it's very simple. It's very simple. The more you're able to attract those that resonate with that level. And it's like you meet brothers, you meet sisters, and then in turn that turns into soul family. So when I joined the Ascension and High Vibes group, it was pretty much a focal point, or pretty much the turning point of what I've been asking for, because it's all about the intention of why you're here. The intention with joining a group in the Telegram, is to ascend. It wasn't to focus on a relationship. It wasn't none of that. It was just focus on this ascension path, get these gifts going, you know? And it was pretty much from there, that was what pretty much helped me grow, when it was all about evolving, and it was all about gaining that knowledge that's important, not knowledge that talks about not knowledge that talks about different beings. No, just knowledge that can help with your mental health. Simply just that. Things like that. And then once you're in that right state of mind, and that right state of where your finances is correct, and things like that, it's like now you have that time now to where you can kick back, and now you can sit there, and knowing that, let's say, we're like very old souls, right? To say the least, about all three of us. Old souls, to say the least, an understatement. It's like now we have that availability to just tap in, and to just play with it, and it's like, whoa, I'm this, whoa, I'm that. And it's like that oh shit moment, that like what Cosmic would say. And like when that oh shit moment comes, it's like damn, like, did I see this? Did I see Anubis? It's like, but it's not off of the expecting those experiences. Even though I like to expect things, I have these high expectations, but it's like you just went with it. It just flowed. But it was all based on the intention that you set with ascending. Because if the intention was to be liked, even though this is regurgitated in the spiritual community, where we talk about, uh like the Andrew Tate type of, like, you know, spiritual like talk and stuff like that, where he says, "Oh, I escaped the matrix." Like, we can say all that, but people still vibrate in that frequency, regardless of whether they, regurgitate those terms or not. So
Yeah.
pretty much, hmm? You say
Yep.
something? So
Nah.
like,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of what the intention is. So my intention for like 2021 was to get with somebody, and to like work with somebody. Now when the intention switches to where it's all about the spiritual journey, and the soul journey, and knowing what you're here to do, and why it's so important. Now I'm getting confirmations like I'm here to teach. And it's like I don't even feel like I'm in that position yet.
Yeah.
But for me, this is what inspired me to even start doing what I'm doing right now, like what I'm talking about right now. This is the start for me to actually exercising that throat chakra that I have to keep working on every day. And like, the more that I keep doing this as like a daily thing, to where, let's say, I make these videos to exercise what I'm supposed to teach, it's like the easier and more effortless that it gets, to the point to where it's like, it can be things like simple downloads that you receive. It could be simple things like selling merch, or it can be things like, pretty much, having like having like this, like, for example, we have a North Node in Cancer, getting to know your ancestors, getting to know what, let's say, orishas that you're connected with more than the others. Or it can be something like what Indian gods, or like, pretty much things like that. It went from, let's say, like this, right? It went from a spiritual awakening from Whitney Houston, and then it goes all the way from that. And then when you set that right in, it's all about that intention. When you set that right intention, it can go from that. Now it can be Kanye West crazy with the with the jumping from, let's say, one timeline to the next with information, loads of information, or like you see how jumpy I am with this with trying to stay on topic. So pretty much that's been like that's been like my whole journey. But what has helped me has been through constant days of grounding, so that I can, calm it all down, so that I can, pretty much flow, because that's pretty much what I have to learn. So pretty much what has helped me a lot was with the intention of, this is what is going to take place. This is how I'm going to move forward. I may not have the words to show you that I know how to move forward, but I'm able to still move forward anyways. I
Yeah.
may not sound like I'm human because I'm not. But I have to learn how to be here first, so that I don't have to repeat another lifetime here. Because before I came, I can share this, right? So before I came here, I hesitated before coming down here, and it was painful. Like, it was just, yeah. So I was pretty much looking. So pretty much that birthmark that I have behind me, I was convinced that I got whooped down here, because I didn't want to be here, but I'm here. So now my ass gotta learn. And now it's like, all right, let's get this shit over with. Like, all right, I might go through karmic situations. So pretty much joining, let's say joining a group, I already knew what was up. It was like, oh, this is a karmic circumstance. This is a karmic situation. Pretty much I was like, oh, I was already calling out what I knew. And it was like, oh, okay. So this is how it's gonna take place. Not that I was feeding the energy into it. I was like, there may be things that I gotta learn here. There might be something that I have to learn here. So pretty much I saved myself from the crying. I pretty much saved myself from like all of the energy that I have to spend on, oh, why did this happen? Why did this and that happen? But it was all about the intention. If the intention was to be in a relationship, all right, let me have these feelings and emotions about a relationship. But no, the intention is ascending. And if it comes with feelings, it comes with feelings. If it don't, it don't. So far it came with kind of in between, because it's all about the intention of why you're here. And why I'm here, a whole lot of things. So yeah.
Damn.
It don't seem like a lot to me, but it was like, there's just so much that I gotta share, and I just gotta learn how to just squeeze it for like people to like understand my mind, because I got a big one.
Yeah.
Go ahead though.
Hey, but nah, I appreciate y'all sharing. Let me go to some comments. Shout out to Jamila with Just Us Jenkins, Addie who was on the comments, Heather popped up, King Shaft and Avery. Shout out to all y'all for being here. Hope all y'all got something out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this the first. I was thinking the only, but who knows in the future if we feel like doing this, or if we want to have this space open for the goddesses to come on and do a divine feminine and just let them speak. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like it's opportunities in the future depending on where that goes. But thank you again, Cortland Dream, for hopping on for this podcast, man. I appreciate all y'all. I'm so grateful, so I can use this
Big
platform
grateful for the invitation, man.
yeah, no problem. But I'm so glad I'm able to use this platform to spread knowledge, and the main reason why I wanted to even do this because I was writing video ideas. I was just like, okay, Divine Masculine podcast, right? I was like, maybe I can bring, Cortland on or somebody, but that was just it. And it just turned into this big thing, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, okay, yeah. But I'm just grateful to be able to share my knowledge and be of service to the collective in any way I can. And I'm just grateful, bro. But y'all, that's gonna be the end of the podcast, man. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, man. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We out. Peace.
Big gratitude.